A spider gave a girl superpowers to live with. Years later, she will discover what happened to her mom, and her destiny will be related to the life of 3 young girls. Hello and welcome again, everyone. Today we gonna recap a new movie called Madam Webb. The movie begins with Constance, a pregnant woman who works as a biological researcher. She went with her colleague Ezekiel to take some pictures of spiders. Their main topic was spider's web. Constance needed a new sort of webs, but unfortunately she couldn't find any. Ezekiel believed that spiders can give people superpowers. He might just finished watching Spider-Man movies. Constance didn't agree. She said the only thing she knew about spiders, that they have strong poison. So back then in time, this poison was used to kill people. While they were arguing, Constance felt some pain. She believed it's cause of baby kicks. She refused to rest, and Syed, she felt they are close to finding rare species of spiders. So Ezekiel left her alone, saying he will try to find some information. Just moments after, Constance could find these rare spiders, kept them in a jar, and went back to tell Ezekiel. Ezekiel had a very bad surprise to her. He asked her to give him the spiders. When she refused, he took out his gun and killed anyone who tried to stop him. And when Constance tried to escape, she couldn't run fast cause of her baby, so Ezekiel could catch her. Then he shot her and took the spiders and ran away. A guy from the town saw what happened, so he went to help Constance and brought a spider to bite her, as he said it would help her to heal. Just at the same moment, Constance started to give birth to her baby, so the guy also helped her. The baby seemed to be okay and in a good shape, but the guy warned Constance that because of the spider's bite, the baby will have some troubles. So Constance asked the guy to take care of the baby girl, and then she died and couldn't make it. The scene then changed. After a few years at 2003, and we saw Webb, Constance's daughter, who is working as a paramedic. She was driving the ambulance, asking people to let her pass, as she had an urgent case, while Ben was in the back, trying to help the injured person, but he was facing a hard time with Webb's driving. She was about to hit a young girl called Maddie, but at the last second, she managed to avoid the accident and finally could reach the hospital at the last second, where the doctors started to take care of the patient. Later then, Julia, the patient's stepdaughter, went to hospital. She was just checking on her mom, who was still in treatment, and Webb was busy working and arguing with Ben. Ben wanted to bring a dog home. He was just talking and talking, but Webb didn't pay him attention. She was enjoying her Asian food. Later then, Webb went back home and stared at a paper she had from a boy she helped to treat his mother. The paper had a drawing of a family, so Webb thought about her mother. As a scientist, her mother had a lot of science researches, especially about spiders, so Webb started to read one of them. The day later, Webb had a call about an accident. A car crashed the bridge walls and was about to fall in the water, so she took Ben and went to the bridge. They had to rescue the guy before the car falls in the river. So she and Ben started to pull the guy out of the car, but after saving him, Webb fell inside the car, and they both fell in the river. While Webb was trying to get out, she started to see and feel weird things. She saw great light, the letter S ... and she was hearing weird voices. Before she knew what is going on, Ben was there for her, and he brought her back to the ground. Webb was so confused about what she just experienced. Ben also decided to check her, thinking she might had bad memory, as she was losing her life, but Webb knew it was odd what she saw, so she went back home to take her time thinking. On the other hand, Ezekiel, the guy who almost killed Webb's mother, was spending his life very well, sleeping with women and attending musical parties. One day he had weird dream. Women with spider faces and legs chased him, then kicked him out of the window. He woke up in shock, which had the girl next to him to wake up too. She found out that Ezekiel is a criminal, so she wanted to arrest him, but she couldn't. Ezekiel realized that she works with the police, so he took her gun first. Then as usual, he shot her and took her ID, so now he can act as an officer and not let anyone to arrest him. Back again to Webb. She went to Ben's house to attend some sort of a party where they should know Ben's baby's name. While Webb was there, she had a new weird vision. A strong deja vu hits as she told everyone that she was here before and said the name of the baby. Everyone was surprised, but before things got even stranger, Ben called Webb as they had to work, this time a huge fire. Webb went with him, but she was still thinking about her deja vu. When they reached the accident location, there she had another deja vu as she saw a police car accident and she was helping the officer. She told the officer what she saw, asked him to let her drive, but he called her crazy and started to drive. Minutes later, he had a car crash, and what she saw exactly happened. That made her even worry more. She didn't know why she experienced all of this. Back again to Ezekiel. He put his dreams on an AI system so he can have better look on the 3 women faces, then asked his assistant to check their faces and try to get their identity, as he was so sure that these women want to kill him, cause he always has the same nightmare. Ezekiel could see their real faces. The 3 of them were young girls, but he believed that someday the 3 of them will try to kill him. Not just Ezekiel, who was worried about his dreams. Also, Webb was. She went to full body check. Then to an eye check. The doctor claimed that she is totally fine. The results didn't show anything, so Webb told her story. But the doctor blamed it on Webb's work, as she watches a lot of accidents due to her work, and advised Webb to get enough rest. Webb wasn't so sure about this results. But then she went back home, tried to watch some movies and have some food. Just then, she heard her window broke. When she went to check on it, it was just fine. So now she was hallucinating, or even worse, she was seeing the future. So this window will be broke in the future. After deep searching, Ezekiel knew the identity of the three girls. They are Julia, Anna, and Maddie. When Webb went to take the train, she had a new vision from the future, as Ezekiel was hurting the three girls. As Webb knew what will happen, and as the three girls was on the train, she had to get them out of it. So she claimed there was an emergency, then ran to take the three girls out of the train, while the girls weren't convinced that there is any real danger. Just after the three of them went off the train, Ezekiel entered the train and started to look for the girl, but he couldn't find anyone. When he looked out of the window, he saw Webb with the three girls. The girls tried to get police help, as they claimed that Webb is trying to kidnap them, so the police stopped Webb to arrest her. At the same moment, Ezekiel turned into some sort of black Spider-Man and attacked the police officers. He was too powerful and even bulletproof. The police officers couldn't stop him, but during this chaos, Webb managed to take the girls with her and escaped from the train station. During the ride, the three girls were so scared. First of all, how could Webb know they would be in danger? And who the hell is Ezekiel? And why is he chasing them? But Webb was in a big trouble, as the police still think she kidnapped the three girls. Also, no one but the four ladies saw Ezekiel climbing and crawling, so there are no real suspects but Webb. So now Webb has to save herself before trying to prove anything else. Ezekiel returned back to his place. He didn't have any answers for his question. How they knew he will come to the train, who told them, and how, at least to catch them. He asked his assistant to report the police about the kidnapping, and telling them the lady took them to the forest. At the forest, Webb was walking with the girls. Of course, the three of them had tons of questions. First of all, who is the guy who is trying to kill them? And why is he trying to kill them? And even who is Webb? Webb realized she met the three of them before, but she never saw Ezekiel, so she had no idea about what happened. Maddie is the skateboard girl, who Webb was about to hit. At the beginning of the movie, Julia is the patient's stepdaughter, and she met Anna at Ben's party. Maddie didn't buy the story. She started to make fun of Webb ... till. Webb told them about her superpowers. She can see the future, not to change it. She just can see it. Later then, she told the three girls to stay in the woods, as they would be safe, and she has to go, and she would get back to them again. She asked them not to go anywhere. Webb went back home. She tried to try her powers. If Ezekiel could climb the wall, then she might could too, but she failed. Later then, she decided to read her mother's books in order to get any information about her powers. At the same time, the three girls argued together, as Maddie wanted to leave the forest and get anything to eat, while the other two girls disagree with her, as Webb asked them not to get out. But at the end, Maddie could convince them, as she had some money. So the three of them went to the nearest restaurant. They started to eat and flirt with the guys over there. Webb got a new vision again of the three girls in the restaurant, dancing and having so much fun. Then Ezekiel entered the restaurant, hit the girls, and stabbed Webb. After this vision, Webb took her car and decided to go to the restaurant to save the girls. The three girls were there, dancing, when Ezekiel suddenly entered the place and started to attack them. But Webb arrived just in the time, and when the girls saw her car, they managed to escape from Ezekiel and get into Webb's car. Webb blamed them. As she asked the three of them not to leave the forest, the girls were ashamed of what they'd done. Ezekiel failed again to kill them. Now he was so sure someone is helping them, and his assistant told him about Webb, as her last name was Webb. He didn't remember her colleague, Constance, the lady he thought he killed, but he recognized Webb's face as he saw her out of the restaurant. While Webb was asleep, she had a new nightmare or vision. This time she was talking to Ezekiel, and he told her that these girls she is trying to save will soon betray her and absorbs all her powers, before finally killing her. Webb woke up and started to wake up the girls. She finally could get some information about Ezekiel. He has a spider looking, not any spider, but a poisonous spider. So his hand is so harmful. If he managed to touch anyone with it, their hearts will stop and will need a quick CPR. So as a paramedic, Webb started to show them how to do it and let the girls try and participate in case they have to do it in the future. The four of them started to talk more. They have a strong bond now, and they were almost ready to face Ezekiel. The first piece of story came together as the girls found a picture of Constance with Ezekiel, and as Constance is Webb's mother and also worked on spiders research. That makes sense. So Webb decided to read her mother's books till she knew the place her mother worked with Ezekiel, the forest where Ezekiel tried to kill her. While she was there, the guy who helped her mother giving her birth came out from the top of tree. When Webb asked him about Ezekiel's story, he told her what he knew. Her mom, Constance, used to work with him, while Constance's intentions was only for science. science. Ezekiel was just trying to find a spider that would make him stronger. And one day when Constance found these spiders, Ezekiel betrayed her and shot her. The guy took Webb to the place she was born, told Webb if she wanted to see her mother's past, she should put her head under the water. Only then, Webb started to see the day her mom died. She was mad at her, as she thought her mother used her as a subject and injected her with spider poison. But after what she saw, she realized that her mother loved her and took this poison even if she knew she would die. Constance only did that to try to keep her baby. Webb got too emotional after seeing that, forgiving her mom immediately. Webb asked the guy if there is any link she can contact her mother through ... She also needed to know about her powers. So far, she has dreams, nightmares, and visions, but she can't control them. Not just her powers. Now she had to stop Ezekiel from killing the girls, to save the girls, and take revenge for her mother. The guy told her more about her real powers. She is some sort of time traveler. She can be at more than one place, at exactly the same moment, and that is the only way she can change the future, while Webb getting more ready. Ezekiel was still trying to make a plan, as he didn't want to lose the girls this time. He blamed his assistant, saying she can't do her work properly. At the same time, the three girls were in Ben's place, playing and watching movie, but suddenly Mary, Ben's wife, was about to give birth to the baby, so they all went to the hospital. Way they didn't know is, Ezekiel's assistant hacked all the city cameras so she could see the three girls in Ben's car and told Ezekiel about what she found out, so he decided to finish the girls this time. When Webb went back home, she realized that the girls are not there. Then she got new vision. This time Ezekiel managed to attack the girls, and he hurted Julia, so Webb quickly took the ambulance she used to drive and went to the hospital where Mary will give birth. She hit Ezekiel with the ambulance, then asked Ben to take his wife any other hospital. Webb then asked the three girls to get in the ambulance. As they were escaping, Ezekiel could climb the ambulance and started to hit it, but one girl made a smart plan. As she gave the ambulance roof a huge electrical pulse, which affected Ezekiel, who fell to the ground. While they were still escaping, the ambulance stopped, so the four of them get out of it. They started to ignite some fireworks. That gave them enough time to escape. At the same time, a police helicopter was coming close to the place, so the girls decided to run towards it. The three girls were about to fall, and at the same time, Ezekiel was about to shot her. So she remembered what the local guy told her. She started to control her gifts, managed to be at the same place at the same time. She went to save the girls from falling while fighting Ezekiel. Then she started to climb a huge sign, and Ezekiel was chasing her all the way up, but Webb was much faster than him. She could reach the top first, and Ezekiel couldn't make it up, so he fell to the ground, and the whole metal sign fell on him, killing him immediately. That made huge fire, made Webb to fall to the river, while her eye was hurt due to the fire. Again this time, she saw a big letter S in the water, but then Julia was brave enough to save her. But when Webb was out of water, she wasn't breathing, and the girls thought she was dead. Only then, they remembered the CPR lessons Webb gave to them, so they used it on her till she wake up. Webb went to the hospital, as her eyes were badly injured. She wouldn't see any soon, but she had a last vision for the three girls. They all would be superheroes and help people, and that was the end.